When I say I love to bike, I'm almost always referring to mountain biking. It's just really hard to beat a great ride on trails up in the mountains. But if I had a second love in the biking world, it'd be gravel riding. That's right, I actually like to ride a skinny-tired rigid bike on paved and dirt roads. If you're a fellow mountain biker that can't imagine how it'd be any fun to trade in your bermed single track for miles of dirt road, then this video is for you. Here are 5 reasons why you should ride gravel. Number 1, it adds variety to your riding. As much as we all hate to admit it, mountain biking fatigue is a real thing. Even if I have the time, I'm sometimes just burnt out or not in the mood to go mountain biking. That doesn't necessarily mean I don't want to go outside or get some exercise in though. I've found that gravel biking is different enough that even when I don't feel like hopping on my mountain bike, a gravel ride still sounds fun. If you live in an area where your rides are mostly straight up and then straight back down, the idea of climbing for an hour straight sometimes sounds absolutely miserable. But with a gravel bike, an hour spin in flatter terrain doesn't sound so bad. Gravel or dirt roads are also usually found in more rural areas, so if you love mountain biking for the solitude of the mountains, you can still feel that as you ride out of the city and into the countryside. Number 2, it builds up endurance. I love to plan big epic rides that link multiple trail systems together. Having the endurance to actually complete these epic routes is a whole nother story though. Gravel riding is a great way to build up your endurance by getting your base miles in. Base training is when you do low-intensity, high-duration rides that help to increase your aerobic fitness. While an hour-long mountain bike ride might include 40 minutes of climbing and 20 minutes of descending with no pedaling, most gravel rides will mean pedaling close to 100% of the time. I've found over the years that as I regularly fit 1 to 2 hour gravel rides into my riding routine, that my mountain bike rides feel less strenuous and are more enjoyable overall. Number 3. Less time driving, more time riding. Unless you live within reasonable riding distance of a trailhead, you're most likely driving somewhere to go mountain biking. That means installing a bike rack, loading up a bike, sitting in traffic, stopping to get gas, and all sorts of other things that aren't actually riding your bike. That time adds up pretty quickly. If you only have a couple hours to go for a ride, you want as much of that time to be spent on the bike. With a gravel bike, there's a good chance you can leave straight from where you live and get more ride time in overall. This does mean you'll most likely be riding on some pavement, but contrary to popular belief, it's not the end of the world to ride on a paved road. I currently live about 45 minutes from the nearest single-track trail, so unless I have the time to drive for an hour and a half, hopping on my gravel bike lets me ride a lot more in a lot less time. Number 4, it improves your technical skills. Riding gravel to improve your technical skills sounds a little crazy, but yes, it can actually happen. Not all dirt roads are the same, and when you find one that isn't maintained very often, if at all, you'll find they can get pretty gnarly. Ruts, rocks, and loose gravel can make for a technically challenging ride, especially on skinny tires and a rigid fork. Underbiking, or riding a bike that's suited for easier terrain than you're riding, is a great way to improve your skills because the bike can't make up for your poor technique. If you're on a gravel bike, riding anything loose, chunky, or super steep, you're going to be underbiked, and whether you make it through without taking a spill will all be up to how good of a rider you are. Number 5 is my favorite, you can ride year-round. Most of us don't live in an area where mountain bike trails are open year-round. Snow, heavy rain, and other weather can close all of the normal riding areas you take your mountain bike. The nice thing about dirt roads is that for the most part, they don't close no matter the weather or season. Adding a gravel bike to your stable of bikes means you'll be able to ride in or after rain, during the shoulder seasons when snow melt turns the trails to mud, or when trails are closed for maintenance or other issues. For the past year, I've had 3 bikes, a fat bike, a mountain bike, and a gravel bike. I've found that with the combination of these 3 bikes, I can ride all year long in everything from winter snow to summer heat. While if I had to choose only one bike to own, it'd still be a mountain bike, adding a gravel bike to my arsenal has helped me ride more, gain endurance, and even get a little better in technical situations. When I'm not in the mood or don't have the time to go for a real mountain bike ride, I really enjoy exploring dirt and gravel roads, and I think you will too. So what do you think of my list? Let me know down in the comments if there's anything I missed about why someone should get a gravel bike. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.